It's Jennifer Lindquist. I'm here at Kaleidoscope Gallery. No! He went under the structure. Hello. Hi, thank you for joining me. This is Jennifer. My friends call me Jen, and I am doing just a live artist chat every Sunday for 8 weeks just to kind of get a feel for how this works for me and my artwork and for you, right? So I don't do tutorials, and I'm not doing live paintings on Sundays, not yet. I'm gonna fix my hair. So I'm just kind of picking some topics if I have a topic and talking about those. And I'd love to see friends, family. I know I get a lot of other artists that pop into my YouTube and my Facebook and that I've seen out in the area. So I'd love to talk to some of you guys if you have any questions or just want to chat. That's really all this is. And it's just a little bit of time to sit here and talk about art or whatever happens to be going on. And today my topic is going to be, social media? Yeah, social media for artists. So I mentioned in my earlier videos that I kind of overwhelmed myself with all the online stuff, and I really did. Like, social media is a very stressful one. And it's fun to put your art out there. It's also a little stressful to think about, oh, do people like it? Are people looking at it? Am I reaching enough people? Well, fortunately, I have Steve to remind me that this is a hobby. This is not my business, and that I don't have to stress about all that stuff. So I'm able to take my time, and I did kind of really dig into some things last year. And so I'm just going to tell you kind of what I've been doing, changes I'm making maybe, and you know, if you have anything that you like in particular. So as far as social media for artists and for me, I'm a painter right now. I haven't done much of anything else yet. And I'm just getting started. I've only been putting my art out there for about 2 years. This is the beginning of year 3. And I've really enjoyed it so far. It's a lot of fun. So I have paintings for my house, and I'm doing so many paintings that are going out to other people right now. And it's been a lot of fun. But it's also been a little bit stressful, and part of that stress is learning how to do all of the online stuff. So even if you're not an artist, if you're trying any sort of a business where you want to get some organic social media reach, like through Facebook or Instagram, you've probably noticed that it gets really frustrating. I used to reach a lot of people, and then every once in a while it's like crickets, like I hear nothing. So I'm going to start with Facebook, then go through what I'm doing on Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, and a couple of others that I've been using. So if you're not familiar with them and you're interested in looking at any of that stuff, you can look it up. If you have any insights that could help, I would love that, because it's a challenge. And I'm going to try and keep this kind of short, although I've already been talking for 10 minutes. How did that happen? Okay, so I'm going to start with Facebook. I started a Facebook artist page. Oh, I feel like I must sneeze. Excuse me. I started a Facebook artist group a year ago, and it was at the suggestion of, I don't know, someone I saw online. Like I said, I've been watching a lot of, hello, oh my goodness, Merzouk. Hi, nice to see you. Thanks for joining me. But where was I? So Right, the Facebook artist group. So here's my thought process. I have a lot of friends and family. I love them all. They love me. Do they only want to see my art stuff that I'm posting constantly on Facebook? Probably not. Some people, yes. Some people, no. So I created my Facebook artist page to kind of separate that out so that people that wanted to follow my art could do that, and then I could still post my personal stuff on my personal page. And I think that separation has been really, really good. I've enjoyed that. I also created a VIP Facebook group, which is just, from what I understand with the algorithms, I can talk. With the algorithms, you can't necessarily see everything that someone posts in their artist page. So I started a VIP group to get people in there and just kind of get to know people. And that one I'm still struggling with. What I do is I feed stuff from Instagram into my artist page, and then sometimes I go into my VIP group to chat. And I do like to talk about contests that I'm having in there. And I also have a link to my shop in my group, on my artist page, one of those. Anyway, so that's what I've done with that, and that one I'm kind of putting, even though Facebook is kind of important and it's worked really well for me, the VIP group and that artist page, I'm kind of just allowing things to feed in through there, and when I get inspiration, put it into the VIP page, so I'm not giving myself too much pressure to do anything in Facebook. Let's see, the next one is Instagram. So I didn't really know what Instagram was for. About 2 or 3 years ago, I noticed people in our family were sending stuff through Instagram to Facebook. And I'm like, oh my gosh, another picture feed, another Instagram, another Facebook. I have to fix my hair. There's so much of it. Here we go. Let's see. So I didn't really understand the point of it, but now that I'm putting artwork out there and I want people to see that I don't know, I understand they have the hashtag for searches, and I've learned how to utilize those to my benefit. And I've started to, I decided this year to make Instagram my targeted thing that I do as far as social media and being consistent. So I try to post every day right now, not several times a day. I can't do that. That's just too much. But posting every day and focus it towards my art and what my art niche is right now, which, I'm doing a lot of surf art and beach art, but mostly surfer girls is what I love. And then looking up hashtags and things that I can do for that. So Instagram is really good for artists, and I've really enjoyed that one. So I may have mentioned that I used some, sorry if that was really noisy with my microphone. If you can hear me, it would be great if you could put it in the chat, because I'm not sure. I'm just going to adjust something here. Oh, hi, Vicki. Thanks. You know what? I can't see that feed, so I'm going to just pardon my armpits while I do this. There we go. Perfect. That's great. Now I can see your chats. Okay, so Snapchat. So I heard about Snapchat. Some of the coaches I was following were on Snapchat. It's a great way to interface with people. And that's awesome. I joined Snapchat. It's cute. It's fun. It's one more thing I just really didn't feel like I could keep up with. So I actually pulled it off of my phone for now, just so it's not a distraction. And I will probably get back into it later, but it just didn't really do anything for me. So at this time, it was something I just kind of got rid of. I think it's the stories in Snapchat that should be good, and maybe when I have an audience, maybe at that time it'll be worth my time. But for right now, I'm just putting it on the back burner. Let's see, Twitter. Oh my gosh, Twitter. So I've had Twitter forever, and I've never really used it, because when Twitter first came out, I got I set it up for Breenet, my dog, and Breenet doesn't tweet very much, and neither do I. So it was actually Breenet Butter was my Twitter handle, and I ended up taking ownership of it and actually using it a little bit. because someone hacked my Twitter account, and I figure if I look at it, if I send stuff to it every once in a while and I check it, then at least if someone hacks my account, I'll be able to figure it out much faster, because it was embarrassing. And people don't hack your accounts to do something nice. You know what I mean? They're posting things that maybe you would never post. I would never post. So I took that over, and basically what I do with Twitter is I have things just kind of filter through to Twitter. And I noticed that Instagram does not filter to Twitter very well. So I've started just basically, if I'm going to post to Instagram and I feel like it's something I'd like to put on Twitter, I'll put it on Twitter. And at this time, since I'm doing the live chats, I'm using Twitter to just kind of let the audience I have on Twitter know that I'm going to be doing a live chat on Twitch. And so I think it's good to have for that reason. And at some point, maybe I'll use Twitter, but like Twitter and Facebook and all of the social medias, if you turn them on and you pay attention to them all the time and they're constantly notifying you, it gets really overwhelming for someone who works in an office all day. So I turned that stuff off a long time ago because it was distracting. I'm easily distracted. I bet you're easily distracted, Victoria. Anyway, so yeah, so I use Twitter. I'm not a constant Twitter user, and I've yet to figure out how best to use it, but it's there. It's there if I need it. Let's see. Okay, so here's a few that I hadn't really considered to be social media, but the more that I learn, the more I realize that maybe they are. So one is YouTube, and I just considered YouTube as a place to put videos of my artwork. And if you've ever been on my YouTube page, it's a lot of streaming speed paintings. And I kind of put it out there kind of as marketing, and also for people who have seen me at art shows to have a place to go and kind of watch me work, right? Because I do a lot of paintings out at my shows, but I don't, I hadn't posted, or I'm not out there all the time, so it's nice to have some place for them to go where they can kind of see how these paintings come together. One thing I realized last year was that seemed to be a really important part of the art process and meeting people, is for people to watch the artwork being created. And I'm super shy generally until you get to know me. So for people to look over my shoulder and to watch me do artwork stresses me out a little bit. But I have been doing it at the shows, and then if I record the process, obviously you can edit out a lot if there's anything you don't like. So I've been putting those out there, but I've only this year started checking back on my YouTube pages to see if people put comments so that I can respond. And there's nothing that I've found that will send your comments to you so that you know about them. So if anybody knows a way to make that happen, I would love to find out. I would appreciate it. Let's see what else. So Pinterest. I don't consider Pinterest social media. I think I'm starting to see more of a social aspect of Pinterest this year. I can see how it can be used for marketing, and I do the same thing with Pinterest as I do with Instagram and also with YouTube. So I will send pins of my videos and of my artwork in my store and what's on my website out to Pinterest. It's just another place for people to find you and bring you in. I've been doing Pinterest for my artwork for about 6 months, and that's it. And Pinterest is a wonderful thing. So if you have a blog, I would highly recommend using Pinterest. And if anybody has suggestions on the best way to use it, so right now I use Tailwinds to put up multiple pins to Pinterest, but I'm still kind of struggling with how much is too much, and if I send the same pin to a board and I send it to 10 different boards, is that spamming the people that follow me? Because I had never really followed anyone other than friends on Pinterest, but I noticed people follow me directly instead of just following my boards, which means I'm probably spamming them, but I'm not sure. I've got to figure that out. So obviously, if there's anybody else out there who's using Pinterest for a blog or for something else and you have any good ideas, I'd love to hear it. Let's see. I'm trying to get through this fairly quickly because we have a dinner tonight, so I don't want to be on here for an hour when my goal is 15 to 20 minutes. Let's see. Okay, so for posting to Instagram and maybe to Facebook, and you can even use it for Pinterest. So I've discovered Buffer, and later, and I know there's Hootsuite also, which is really good, but if you're like me, I'm just starting out, I'm taking my time, I'm trying not to spend a fortune, although it's really hard not to spend a fortune when you're getting your artwork out there and you're trying to get people to get to know you. But Buffer has a free version where you can send out scheduled posts. Later has a free version where you can send out scheduled posts. And Tailwinds, for Pinterest specifically, you can use Tailwinds for other things as well, but I'm using it for Pinterest, scheduling posts. Now, once you hit a certain point, you have to start paying for Tailwinds. So I'm at the point where I'm paying a monthly fee because I find that as far as getting people to my actual website, oh, my throat's starting to hurt, I'm sorry. As far as getting people to my actual website, Pinterest has absolutely been the best source of traffic for me, and it's very consistent, and I get people there, and I've actually, now I'm not 100% sure because sometimes it's really hard to tell where your traffic is coming from, but I've actually made a sale from someone who I believe possibly found me through Pinterest, and maybe from Pinterest they came to my website and went to my Etsy page, but actually ended up buying directly off of my website, which is awesome. And that was super exciting. You know, it seems like, I know we're part of this I need it now generation. You know, we expect everything to be instantaneous. You know, you hear about all these people who they start their businesses and then 3 months later, I made $50,000, yay. Well, I started 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, and I've sold a few paintings. But there's usually a reason why people can do things quickly. It's because they've done them before and they've failed or they struggled and they learned things. So my big thing for this year is just take the things that I've learned and use the things that I feel will work for my benefit that don't require too much time and effort, so that I can spend more time painting. And anything that works with that is what I'm going to use going forward. So anyway, that was my topic for today, was social media and how I use it. So just so you know, when you see me post to Instagram and YouTube and all these places, I am getting the word out there about who I am and what I do. But also, it's a way to find out who is interested in the type of work I do and to just kind of get to know you a little bit better. Plus, it's always cool to meet other people who surf or love the beach, and I love making those connections. And to date, still I meet the most people and I sell the most artwork at my art shows. So there, you can't discount the face-to-face interactions of meeting people in person. But it is nice to also maybe try to connect this way and to connect through social media. I was really blessed at my art festival in Winter Springs, which was the first 2-day art festival that I went to, and I actually had people come up to my tent that I hadn't met in person, but that we've connected with online, and that was really awesome, which reminds me, you might be the one. I had someone contact me on Facebook, and I tried to respond back, and when I did, the information was gone and I wasn't able to respond. So if I missed you, I apologize. You are welcome to message me to say hi, especially if we've met in person, and I'll do my best to respond to you. I promise I'm not ignoring you. Some of my technology doesn't always work the way it's supposed to, but Facebook, I feel like, lost one of my messages. It was probably me. I probably did it, but I'm going to blame it on Facebook for now because I can. Okay, so that's it. And that's all I have for tonight. So I hope you enjoyed this. And this chat will be on Twitter. Twitter hangs on to the videos for about, I want to say 6 weeks, but it might be 6 months. And it'll also be on YouTube. Should be unedited. And the reason I am doing these weekly chats is to basically get some stuff out on YouTube without doing a lot of editing. I'm still going to have edited videos and speed paintings, but this is just something else I wanted to try. So if you have any questions, if you see this after the live video and you have questions, feel free to put it in chat, and I'd love to answer your questions and get back to you as soon as I can, or maybe in the next video. And if you're on YouTube or Twitch and you'd like to follow me, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. And let's see, on YouTube, if you click the little bell when you follow or when you subscribe, it will send you a notification whenever I go live. So for right now, let's see, I've done 3 of these. So there's 5 left, 5 live streams Sunday at 5 p.m. And if we feel like we need to change the time to something maybe during the week, that works a little bit better, we'll do that. Also, just so you know, I will be doing live streams on Twitch. I did a couple of them last week, and it's basically just me painting. Painting and chatting is hard. I will look for chats. I struggled with that a little bit this past week, but I do want to schedule 1 or 2, but I need to talk to Steve and see if we can figure out the best time to do that so it won't interfere. Anyway, so I see you there. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to hang out for about 4 more minutes. So you're welcome to say hello. I'm just going to hang out with chat here. Hello. Oh, so since you're here, how's my makeup look? Did I do it right? I feel like it's better tonight. I spent about an hour getting ready and with makeup and hair, and then about an hour setting up my computer, my phone, where all my stuff is going to be, rearranging pictures in the background, getting the light just right because the sun's going down. And I've got my light over here. Let's see what else. And can you hear me okay? So I was able to check to make sure that the stream was going through, but I can't hear it. I couldn't get to where I could see the audio. So I'd love to know if that's working. And let's see, what else? Hopefully the color's good. How is the picture? So, hello, good to see you. How's the picture? So I'm using my phone for Facebook Live, and I'm using my computer's webcam for Twitch and YouTube. And I feel like it's still a little bit dark and maybe there's some graininess in the background. I'd love to know how the picture looks to you. And I am going to work over time to improve the picture. I'm just not sure when to start investing in something like that, right? Because all this stuff, everything is, do I want to invest in something? Is it going to give me anything in return? So it's great. I love to buy equipment, but I don't want to do it unless I feel like I'm going to continue with the stream. So let's see. And I also see that I've dropped a few frames during the streaming because I am streaming wirelessly. So if it's dropping and you notice, let me know, because it's good for me to get that kind of feedback, and that should help me tweak some things. But for right now, we are all done here. It's almost 5:30. I really appreciate you coming online. I know I look away a lot. I'm checking out my notes. And then I check the light, because whenever I see like it's gotten darker on this side of my face, but if I do this, look, it's light. That's a light. Anyway, very aware of what's going on in here. So that's it for tonight. I look forward to seeing you. And let's see, it's January. The weather's been super, super warm for this time of year, even for Florida. I think I've only worn my boots maybe a couple of days, and I'm excited for the warm weather, but I know that means we're going to have a couple more cold snaps coming, so we'll have a few more days of cold weather, and then we can head back out to the beach. I don't usually go in January or December because it's so cold and I don't wear booties, but hopefully we'll get out there soon, and maybe we'll get some really great waves this year. Usually better waves in the winter, so it is worth getting out there when it's this time of year. But anyway, hopefully I'll see you at the beach when it warms up. Bye. Bye. Bye, friends and family. Bye, beach lovers. See you later. Will take me a minute to stop everything.